Hi, Kelly McGill with McMillan Realty. Today I wanted to talk to you about selling a property that is occupied by a tenant. How a seller handles the tenant is key in the successful sale of a rental property. First, you have two choices as a seller. Do you market the property after it is vacant or with the tenant still occupying the home? The easiest way is to have the property vacant. In order to do that, as a seller, you need to make sure that you abide by landlord-tenant law when issuing the notice to vacate to the tenant. If you have a lease in place, you are expected to honor the lease. However, you can negotiate with the tenant to maybe agree on a price to have them vacate prior to ending of the lease. If you have a month-to-month lease in place, be aware that issuing a 30-day notice still might not be appropriate. There are laws in place that may require a 60-day notice to vacate. A great website for further information is the California Department of Consumer Affairs at dca.ca.gov. You simply go to Publications, then Landlord Book, then Moving Out for the current law. Okay, so let's talk about the other option. The other option as a seller is to let your tenant remain in the property. If you choose to do this, you're going to need to make special arrangements with your tenant during the marketing period. So your tenant is going to need to agree in writing to allow a lockbox on the property, to allow access for showings, to allow access for photos, and potentially for staging. You're going to want to have that clearly understood in writing between the landlord and the tenant before you proceed. Sometimes a tenant will agree to no notice, show the property at your free will if you just lower the rent each month. The last thing to consider is when does the tenant move out if they have remained in the property until it is sold. One suggestion is to arrange in writing with the tenant before it is sold to waive the last month's rent if they vacate with a 30-day notice. If that is the agreement that you decide to go with, the landlord will need to ask for a longer escrow, 60 to 75 days. Issue the notice to vacate once the buyer has unconditional loan approval, and then close after the tenant has moved out. This would allow the owner to collect rent until they have a buyer with loan approval. As a real estate agent, it's not only my job to educate you on the buying and selling process of your home, but also to market your home and get you the highest price that a buyer is willing to pay for your home today. To do this, my mom and I spend hours, sometimes a whole day if needed, to get your home ready for sale. There are certain freedoms that you have when you sell your home vacant. A lot of agents show homes that are vacant on lockbox more than tenant-occupied properties, and there are reasons behind that. Please give us a call. We're open to sharing our experiences in the past with successful sales of both tenant-occupied and vacant properties.